I know this is a little bit out of order, but I think it needs to be addressed now, the potholes. Jim, if you could do that, please introduce yourself once you get to the podium and tell us about the potholes. Give us an idea what's going on there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jim Williams. Can you hear me clearly? I'm the Public Works Director for the City of Hamilton. Thank you, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I do have a short presentation as far as an update. First of all, I have to, I feel responsible, okay? So I have to apologize for the state of the streets here in the city and the alleys. We're doing the best we can to keep up with a ongoing problem, okay? So, moving to the next slide. Currently, we have 235 miles of paved streets. We have 17 dump trucks, basically, to support either snow removal or street maintenance activity. We're still in the snow removal business. We have plows and V-bodies in those dump trucks. To remove the V-bodies out of the dump trucks, it takes about 4 to 6 hours to do that. And so it's inefficient for us to remove the V-body so that we can then have hot asphalt, which right now is not readily available at all plants. We normally get our hot asphalt from Mount Pleasant. We currently are getting it from Normac in Middletown. And so that's part of the issue. During the winter months, we have 2 pull-behind hot boxes, and we separate the crews into 2 men each, and they work on the east and the west side of the Great Miami River. And so that's how we deploy, and we do approximately 4 tons of filling of asphalt per day. So these guys are really working hard to make sure that we address everything that comes in through 311 and for phone calls to the Streets and Sewers Department on a daily basis. If you go to the next slide, that's a picture of the hot boxes and a typical hot box pothole filling operation. If you go to the next slide, you can see the dump trucks in the city garage, and you can see that V-body, which is basically the salt dispensing system that has to be removed by hoist and crane out of the bed of the dump truck. And so that's where it's just almost impossible to make these trucks available for asphalt application right now. We're hoping, of course, we get through the end of this month, we can start removing some of the V-bodies out, and then we'll have those dump trucks available to us for hot asphalt. When the asphalt plants are closed, we do use cold fill. So that does aid some, but because of the freeze and thaw that we're going through right now with the swings, they're popping right out, and we have to go back and refill something that we just filled yesterday. So operationally, to kind of give you an idea, we've instituted KPIs, key performance indicators, and operational metrics to make sure that our guys are as efficient and expeditious as possible. And so in calendar year 2018, we filled 18,295 potholes, which is an average of 351.8 per week at a cost of $160,000 and $160,358. So that's what we did in 2018. In January 2019, we filled 1,983 potholes, which averaged a little bit higher at 396 per week. Costs we're still compiling. So we are busy, and we're trying to address these issues. This particular week, we had 2 days of rain, and when it rains, we don't fill potholes. And so, again, we are, I have to apologize for that, but in essence, today, we were out there filling potholes like crazy. We actually ran out of material. That's how much we were applying. Ross Avenue will get hit tomorrow morning, and then we'll also look at a depression in Ray as well.
Well, Jim, it's not your fault that we have Ohio weather that goes from 60 degrees to -10 in a matter of a couple of days, and the fact that cars kind of knock out sometimes some of the patch that you do have. I think it's amazing that you've got close to 400 per week, since January of this year. But Jim's part of our city team, which is really addressing the potholes the best they can, considering the weather. The fact that rain doesn't help. And I hope that answers some of the questions that you have, Mr. Nelson, and the rest of council, the rest of the citizens here, because I called Mr. Williams today about a couple of those issues. So they are going to be addressed. Just give us some time. They'll get done.
Mr. Mayor,
Please.
importantly, in the tail end of winter, and we still have another couple of weeks of winter in front of us, Jim has designed a strategic plan that all of you can follow if you're on your computers to see where our trucks are that are plowing the snow that's on your streets, the main artery flows, the tandem trucks that hit our necessary streets, the single edged plows that plow the artery streets that feed into the main streets in Hamilton so you can get to and from work, the side streets, and then the cul-de-sacs, the alleys are all tended to in a design that we've been privileged to see that's on our website that all of you can see it's contingent on our weather. As the mayor had said, it's 60 degrees one day and -6 degrees 2 days later. And potholes are part of the Southwest Ohio area that we live in. It's not Florida, it's not California. So Jim joining our team a couple of years ago has brought his resources and skill set to make the city streets better. I asked before about Mosler Safe, and some of the people here have raised their hands. We remember being criticized for the way our streets weren't plowed, and that the city of Fairfield had a better system. This year and last year, we were commended in the way our streets have been plowed during the wintertime. The repair metrics that Jim and Rich Engel put together for the way our streets are repaired and things, the potholes that are filled. So please stay tuned, as Jim has shared, for better things to come in the next weeks as weather stays at 45 and 50 and 60 degrees and the potholes can stay filled and that the fill patch doesn't pop out the same day or the next day because of severe weather. Thanks, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.